Thank you very much, Mark, for your introductions. And dear Masters in Management class of 2024, is really my great pleasure to be here with you to celebrate this commencement. And before I talk to all of you, also a very warm welcome to our parents, families, friends, as well as our own community of alumni, faculty, and staff. I'm delighted that we're here together sharing this first day of this exciting new chapter of our graduate lives. And I'm going to actually ask the graduates for a round of applause to thank this amazing community of support from your families to the staff, the faculty that have supported you through this journey. It's so important that we recognize, cherish, and celebrate their support, their involvement in your success. Graduation ceremony is really a magic moment in academic life. It's one where the entire community really gets together to recognize and celebrate the hard work, the resilience, the passion that brought you to this outstanding milestone. Your commencement is really a tremendous achievement. And I'm very pleased to be here with you on this exciting new chapter of your life and to do it here in Singapore, a place of innovation and development and an inspiration for all of us on what foresight, education, imagination, and hard work can achieve. And these are all traits that you possess and that we'll certainly leverage as you move to your next stage of your career. Besides, Mark is also a special day yet for me. As Mark mentioned, I've been the dean since September, so it's part of my cycle of firsts as I approach the first year of my role as dean at INSEAD. And it's also nice because I joined INSEAD at the same time as you did, last August, September, and so in some ways we've kind of joined this community at the same time. I've been together helping to shape its fabric and its future of this amazing community together, and that is something that of course creates a unique bond between when you join this community and when I joined this community as well, and I'm delighted to be doing it together with you. But you're indeed a very special group, and graduation is an important time for you to take a step back and to really look around and see the people that are beside you, behind you, in front of you, and appreciate your wonderful colleagues. You've traveled all around the world to study at INSEAD, and this is really a reflection of the truly global cohort that you are. 36 nationalities, but also just the distinct and unique nature of the MIM program and all that come and join and the experience that you go through together as a cohort. Each and every one of you has brought something really special to the group: personality, culture, competence, experience, traits, and perspectives. And together you've overcome the normal but still significant obstacles that come in demanding educational experience that the MIM has and that Mark well alluded to. And you've done so with enthusiasm, with energy, and with determination. And while you've learned a lot in the classroom, you've also learned a lot from each other's strengths, differences, and challenges. You've supported each other, and through that forged deep and powerful ties that will go on for life. And this is indeed a fundamental part of the INSEAD experience. But today is not the end of your cohort journey. It's also the beginning of a different journey. You will now become a graduate of INSEAD. And that brings with it a very powerful connected network of peers and friends from all over the world that will be with you and alongside you in this next stage of your journey. So enjoy the lifelong connections that you've made with each other and with INSEAD. Think, reflect, and enjoy the amazing peers that are assembled here today. But you did not just join any school as a group. You joined INSEAD. And for the benefit of family and friends that are here, I want to share just a few words to talk a little bit the story, the mission, and the distinct nature of our school. Because INSEAD is indeed a very special place. A mission-driven school that stays true to the founding values of diversity, independence, rigor and relevance, closeness to business, and entrepreneurship. Founded in 1957, INSEAD is the brainchild of Georges Doriot, a French professor at that time at Harvard Business School, and also the creator of venture capital globally. And at that time, there were already other business schools in France and throughout Europe. But at that time, they were quite far from the practice that existed at the US. And so this was his notion of bringing to Europe at that time cutting-edge management education that at the time, was happening in the US. But it was quite important also how he thought about that, because he wanted to do that in a way that it could connect people and cultures, in a way that could contribute to build peace and prosperity in Europe that had just come out of two bloody world wars, and to think about doing so through business understanding, through business exchange, and through leadership. And this is indeed a very unique, powerful combination today, as it was years ago. In fact, I feel this uniqueness throughout the reaction that I hear more often than not from the alumni that I meet when they all turn to me and say, INSEAD transformed my life. And in fact, while I joined INSEAD only last September, I was first impacted by the transformation power of our school a long time ago. In the early 80s, it turns out. I was a geeky preteen, as you heard. I went and studied physics at that time, even before I ever started to dream that I would come into business school and academia. And that happened because my dad was actually in his early 40s, marketing executive in a Portuguese firm where I'm originally from. And 1980 in Portugal is only 6 years after 1974, where we had our revolution, and 6 years before we entered the European Union. So Portugal wasn't quite, an insular place at that time, and was just opening up to the world. And he came to INSEAD to do a long-form executive program that left an indelible mark on him. The knowledge, the experience, the colleagues left a long-lasting impression on his personality, his career, his journey. And it's something that my sister and I, as young preteens, remember well and kept in our memory. And even though he only lived 10 years past that time, as he passed away in his early 50s, that mark was really strong on him throughout, and through him on me and my family. That special impact on his career has remained until today, and has left a long-lasting impression, appreciation, and esteem since that age, in the amazing institution that INSEAD is. But of course, INSEAD has evolved and grown since either 57 or 1980. We've established campuses around the world, in Singapore and Abu Dhabi, and a hub in San Francisco. We have gained global recognition and impact. But most importantly, INSEAD has remained true to the vision of our founders and to the mission of bringing together people, culture, and ideas to develop these responsible leaders who transform business and society. There are many other business schools around that are very good at teaching about management. But there are only one truly global business school, the only one where there is no dominant culture in the classroom, where everyone is a minority and everyone learns to respect, work, and cherish other minorities, to do commerce and to impact the world. In today's polarized world, the need to bring people together, to collaborate, to dialogue, to communicate, to drive impact has never been more urgent. And that is INSEAD's mission. And that is also what you've experienced through the diversity of your group, the knowledge and expertise of your world-leading faculty, and the relevance of the curriculum. And we're always innovating and looking at the future. Our faculty create pioneering research that is making a fundamental difference on the way that companies address relevant topics, from AI to circular economies to the future of work. We frequently re-engineer our curricula to ensure that they address key topics, with sustainability now featuring prominently across our different programs. We collaborate with fellow business schools, firms, alumni, and global organizations to address and have impact on issues such as climate change, gender inequality, and economic development. We are ensuring that business leaders are equipped with cutting-edge management skills, as well as the skills to integrate social and environmental issues in business decisions. And this brings me to your responsibility. The world has changed a lot since 1957. The next stage of your journey is at a crucial moment in history. The fast rate of digital transformation and its huge impact on the business world cannot be understated. Generative AI is just one of the visible transformations that we have seen over the last year or so. The speed of global warming is accelerating, and we have the responsibility to address it in our business decisions. The world is experiencing war and migration, and many governments are becoming more inward-looking. But despite this challenging and sobering context, I remain optimistic. And that is thanks to you, the MIM class of 2024. After all, you've just completed your MIM at INSEAD, the business school for the world, the school that prepares leaders to deal with all business and societal issues responsibly, ethically, and with sound judgment, to make a positive impact, to drive transformation. The graduates of INSEAD, you carry a great responsibility. You are in a unique, privileged position, one with the potential to change people's lives. You're equipped with the knowledge and the tools not only to navigate the world in this challenging context, but to lead others responsibly, with the vision to make the world a better place. You are the leaders who can lead the change with new ideas and new ways of doing business. So I encourage you to remember what you have learned here at INSEAD. I want you to use this knowledge that you've acquired, take it back to your future companies, back to your communities. Use it to bring about change. You have an outsized role to play in transforming the world, an outsized responsibility to lead by example. It depends on you, on what you decide to do. But you're not alone in this task. As you step forward into the world as proud INSEADers, remember that you're now proud of a global community of almost 70,000 strong INSEAD alumni in 180 countries, a global community of responsible leaders such as yourselves. No other business school has the breadth and depth of an alumni community like ours. No other business school has this expansive network. And this is not just a testament to our shared history. It is a vibrant, active community ready to support you in your future endeavors. Beyond your fellow graduates, I encourage you to engage also with your National Alumni Association, attend events such as the annual Alumni Forum and other alumni activities. I urge you to embrace this powerful resource. Do not hesitate to reach out to your fellow alumni for guidance, for mentorship, and for collaborations. You will find that we will always be ready to support you and engage with you. And consider also volunteering and giving back to the community and the school in whatever capacity works for you. The more you engage, the richer your experience will be. This is the secret sauce of INSEAD, a network that grows in value as you contribute to it yourself. Let us continue to build this legacy together, fostering a community that thrives on mutual support and the shared vision for a better world. And do stay in touch with us. We're fully vested in your success, and I look forward to hearing the stories of your success in the future. And I want to learn about how INSEAD transformed your life. You, the INSEAD MIM class of 2024. It's not only your personal stories that I'd like to hear, but also the stories of how you're carrying out INSEAD's value into and mission into the future, about how you'll make INSEAD's values your own to make a positive impact on business and society. I have no doubt that you will change the world for the better. It won't be easy, but I have faith in you because you are an INSEADer. And as Lee Kuan Yew, the founding father of modern Singapore, once said, there is a glorious rainbow that beckons those with the spirit of adventure. And there are rich findings at the end of that rainbow. To the young and not so old, I say, look at that horizon, follow that rainbow, go ride it. Congratulations and all the best, the amazing MIM class of 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Francisco, for your inspiring and encouraging words to our MIM class of 2024. It is now my honor to introduce you to our distinguished alumni speaker, Suresh Sidhu, INSEAD MBA 97 alum, Chief Executive Officer and founder of EdgePoint, a telecommunications infrastructure company focused on building and leasing shareable and modern telecom structures, as well as providing solutions such as small cell and in-building systems. EdgePoint is backed by Digital Bridge, a leading investor, owner, and operator of mobile and internet infrastructure through investments around the globe. Suresh has over 25 years of experience spanning senior leadership, operations, and strategy across Asia and North America, with experience in the telecom sector that spans the migration of 2G to 5G. He was previously the CEO of Idiotico Group, spearheaded the transformation and growth of one of the fastest growing towercos in Asia. He's held senior roles at Sime Darby, the Boston Consulting Group, Maxis Communications, and the Axiata Group. Suresh holds an undergraduate degree from Cambridge University and, of course, an MBA from INSEAD. Please join me in welcoming him to the podium.